Welcome viewers to the Saturday, November 25th edition of 284 News. I'm Jacqueline Wooding bringing you our top stories from this week. Thank you so much for joining us. We begin with news that Premier and Minister for Finance, Dr. the Honorable Natalia Wheatley, has announced a budget for 2024 totaling $383 million. Premier Wheatley provided the figures during the 2024 budget address at the 6th sitting of the first session of the 5th House of Assembly. Of the total budget, he said that $360.24 million is expected to come from taxes, $5.96 million from grants, and $16.47 million from other revenue sources. The total figure also represents a recurrent expenditure of $376.95 million and a recurrent surplus of over $15 million, which the Premier detailed.
Development projects under the Recovery and Development Agency totaled $9.48 million. Total government debt at the end of 2023 will stand at $118.98 million at the close of the year, of which $88.49 million is foreign debt and $30.49 million is local debt.
Total capital expenditure is estimated at $70.9 million, of which $45.45 million will be for development projects and $25.45 million for capital acquisitions. The Premier detailed how his government intends to raise the aforementioned funds.
We have demonstrated great resilience in the management of public resources, and we continue to have a healthy economy. In addition to the resilience in the economy, we have also responded to political shocks with a reform process that will ultimately prepare us to continue along the path of self-determination. Madam Speaker, the Virgin Islands economy fared well, and our people have endured.
As it pertains to the allocation of ministries, the Ministry for Health and Social Development is expected to receive the largest percentage with 20.38%, or $95.92 million, followed by the Ministry for Communications and Works with 15.92%, or $74.95 million. Premier Wheatley provided a comprehensive breakdown of these allocations.
We must strengthen ourselves for the journey ahead because there are many tests. This is reflected in the analyses of the global economy, which impacts us because we are intricately connected to what is happening in the rest of the world. And if there is one lesson to be learned from our experiences over the recent years, is that the global situation is very volatile and can take a complete about turn in an instant.
The 2024 budget represents a decrease when compared to this year's budget of $412,971,110. In other news, to facilitate the continued growth of the tourism sector, the Premier has emphasized the need to invest in supporting infrastructure like airports and seaports. He made the statement while delivering the budget.
For our industry to continue growing, it needs the supporting infrastructure. The upgrade and expansion of the Terence B. Lettsome International Airport to handle increased passenger arrivals and larger aircraft that are capable of bringing in visitors from further distances is critical to the further development of our tourism industry. Similarly, the construction of the new West End Ferry Terminal will make a tremendous contribution to boosting our tourist arrivals and creating business opportunities across our islands, and more so in the western part of the territory. These projects, Madam Speaker, are projects that we must prioritize.
To that end, the newly approved budget has allocated $3 million to fund development projects at the Terence B. Lettsome International Airport. The upgrades will focus on enhancing capacity, efficiency, safety, facilities, and overall traveler experience. Additionally, $4 million has been earmarked in the budget to commence constructing the new technologically advanced West End Ferry Terminal.
Hence, Madam Speaker, we are moving forward with plans to expand the TB Lettsome International Airport. Informed by the results of the recent vision and meeting with stakeholders, $3 million has been allocated for development projects at the TB Letsam International Airport to improve facilities, enhance capacity, safety, efficiency, create jobs, and attract visitors. The government in September 2023 discussed the requirements of our longer-term expansion plans for the airport with the United Kingdom. A request for proposal to secure a consultant to complete the business case for the airport expansion project has been published. The tender submission date is the 29th of December 2023. Government's investment in the expansion of the airport is envisaged to improve the tourism experience and increase arrival numbers with the ease in access to the territory. Madam Speaker, $4 million has been allocated to commence the construction of the West End Ferry Terminal, which will be a technologically driven facility capable of accommodating over 200,000 passengers per year.
The Terence B. Letsam International Airport expansion also looks ahead to long-term plans to transform the airport into a hub capable of accommodating larger aircrafts and visitors from more distant origins. This dovetails with the recently concluded Airport Visioning Workshop. And viewers, of that, we take a quick word from our sponsors. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Catch all the action from the 2023 NFL games with CCT Live on various channels, including ESPN Channel 412, ESPN2 Channel 413, Telemundo Channel 315, and Fox Channel 304. When you subscribe to any CCT Fire plan, you'll automatically bundle CCT Live. For more information, visit your nearest CCT store or give us a call at 444-4444. Choose CCT Live and enhance your game day experience.
This November, the sun rises on the northernmost island of the Virgin Islands and shines over an unforgettable 3-day experience. The Caribbean's most anticipated food festival, the ANEGADA Lobster Festival. The 24th to the 26th of November, the island's best restaurants present their best lobster dishes and other delicacies while you and 3,000 of your closest friends soak up the sun. Enjoy music from top bands, seaside activities, and win awesome prizes. There's nothing quite like the ANEGADA Lobster Festival. The 24th to the 26th of November. Book a room or catch a boat and be there. You'll see, it's the taste and fun you need.
That's out.
That's 6.
That's out.
With great service and fast claims response, we're like a home match that isn't played at your actual home. CG Insurance. Good like that.
My turn. Oh, come on, guys.
Welcome back, and thank you so much for staying with us. We continue with news that Daniel Davies, lawyer and managing partner at Silk Legal BVI Inc., recently joined To It for Media to discuss the contents of the Virgin Islands Magistrates Code of Procedure Amendment Act 2023. Davies aims to raise public awareness about the act, including cost adjustments that could make some magistrates' procedures more expensive than the High Court.
It's a very important document because it will fundamentally change our constitutional right to access to justice and access to the court. But I'll leave you to get into that momentarily.
All right. Take me through your concerns in this regard, of course, and what exactly are those changes expected to come should this document be passed to the House of Assembly?
Okay, so for your listening audience, what's being passed is something called the Magistrates Code of Procedure Amendment Act of 2023. It doesn't change the procedures in the Magistrates Court, but it increases fees, and in some instances, those fees surpass the fees that the High Court charges for filing of certain documents. And that is, of course, a major concern. But the concern really is more along the lines that, you know, it's okay to increase the fees, but perhaps not as much as what is being proposed here. Mm-hmm. That is really my take. I understand that we need probably more magistrates, that we perhaps need better facilities for our magistrates, and perhaps a name change to, maybe a lower court judge rather than a magistrate, which in many countries is a layperson. Or in Jamaica, actually, the term magistrate was replaced by a parish court judge. And they have parish courts in Jamaica. So I'd really like to see a change along those lines, because their work is very important and it affects everybody's lives. Well, not everybody's, but a lot of people's lives, in terms of knowing that they have access to justice at an affordable rate.
Beyond highlighting the Act's financial ramifications, the lawyer also put forth suggestions for operational improvements at the magistrates' court level.
I think that the limit of $10,000 needs to be lifted to $25,000. They have it like that in the Cayman Islands, I believe.
Okay.
And Caymanian dollars are actually worth more than a US dollar. So I would suggest raising the limit to $25,000 and increasing the amount of costs that a person can recover. So what are costs? Costs are essentially the expenses that one expends to litigate their case, and can include lawyer fees, or does include lawyers' fees. So currently the limit is $2,000. But with all of these fees, plus lawyers' fees, people are going to be seriously out of pocket litigating these matters if they choose to have a lawyer. And it is advisable to have a lawyer. Even if you're a lawyer, it's advisable to have a lawyer, because a lawyer who has himself as a client has a fool for a client. That is that's a very common saying that we have among ourselves. So yes, lifting the limit to about $25,000 is certainly something that I can see being of great benefit to the people of the Virgin Islands. Perhaps this thing as well, not having to pay $20 for an affidavit. Okay. That's what the High Court charges. Your magistrate's court. You're supposed to be you're not supposed to be as expensive as the High Court. You're of a lower level, as it were. Shouldn't be that expensive. But generally, that's my thought for now. I think it can do with I think it should have a bit more, the rules of the magistrates' court should be set out much more clearly. They have some rules, the magistrates' code of procedure rules, but it's absolutely lacking. It's absolutely lacking. It's very simple, not very substantive, It's best that you have rules so people know what is going to happen, and what. It's best to have rules so that people know what's going to happen, what to expect, what's going to happen at different stages of the procedure.
They're more informed coming into the process.
So essentially that is what I'm looking for as well.
In other news, the National Business Bureau is expected to be reinstated in 2024 after being dormant since 2019. Premier Dr. The Honorable Natalia Wheatley briefly announced the return of the National Bureau during his budget address on Tuesday. In addition, the Premier said a work management system will be implemented to ensure that nationals benefit from employment opportunities in the territory.
This budget, we will see a work management system that will assist us manage our labor force and ensure that opportunities are there for nationals to have the dignity of a job. We will also see the return of the Business Bureau to assist our small businesses to employ themselves and others and deliver goods and services successfully.
The National Business Bureau was established under the leadership of former Premier Dr. The Honorable Orlando Smith for the development of micro, small, and medium enterprises. A big advocate for the return of the Bureau has been opposition legislator Honorable Myron Walwyn. Upon his return to elected politics in May, Walwyn's first order of business was calling on the government to recognize the need for reinstating the National Bureau. pointing to the need of small businesses for technological support and access to funding and capital.
A shame that have some of us still opened. The business community needs a boost. We must reinstate the National Business Bureau and place it on legislative footing so that it becomes a permanent feature in our governmental system. Businesses need access to capital in the form of low-interest loans and grants, and they need technical support and training. There are many persons, particularly our young people, and I have a lot of them in District 6, who have great ideas but need the support to bring them to life. These are things that a good government should be helping with.
Meanwhile, Premier Wheatley updated residents on the progress of the rated program, stating that more than 700 residents have already benefited from this employment initiative.
I wish to take this opportunity, Madam Speaker, to once again remind persons who may be seeking short-term employment or interested in learning skills that they can enroll in the Registration, Apprenticeship Training, Employment and Development Program, or rated. So far, over 700 persons have been able to access opportunities to the rated program, and individuals have even moved on to full employment, some of them. This program will continue to be developed in 2024.
Viewers, with that, we take a quick break. Stay with us because there is more news when we return.
Father Jesus, that line here long like church service.
Alright, you enjoy the rest of it then. Next customer line, please. Wait, hold on a second.
Yes, Sonny boy, come, yes, Sonny.
Good morning.
Good morning, Sonny boy. Over there. You must have cut fun people.
It's okay, I'll take care of it.
What? No man to take care of me.
How may I assist you?
Listen.
You want top of power?
You want top of power?
Join the prepaid party with CCT and enjoy more affordable data plans, more top-up promotions, more savings with hero bundles, and more value for your money each and every Tuesday with Top Up Turn Up Tuesday. Visit a CCT store today or anywhere CCT Top Up is sold and top up your phone.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You want top of power?
The push was to understand whatever we need in the 2nd District or whatever we need even in the Virgin Islands. We have the capacity, we have the resources, we have the knowledge.
We have to improve our primary health care. What we have seen over the years, anybody could tell you this, we have seen a decline in the level of primary health care. That is the clinics.
I think party politics, political agendas, after April the 24th should have been put aside.
How do you move government resources? How do you better understand the system? How do you get your piece in there first and so on to make sure that you get the most?
Folks will hear things about what we have in mind to get done for the district very soon.
The government who is responsible for all of these policies and programs, they're the ones who really have the handle for all of these things.
We saw the challenges in terms of how those funds were being misused and mismanaged, and we need to ensure that we have a transparent system in place to ensure that persons who need help are able to get help.
We are not going to be able to attract the kind of investment that I just talked about, that you and I just talked about, in terms of new money and new business, unless we clean this country up.
This fall, we're bringing you closer to the heart of democracy. Introducing Just for the Record, First 100 Days. We asked elected members of the House of Assembly of the Virgin Islands to account for their actions, successes, and shortfalls at this significant milestone since their swearing in. Find out starting Thursday, November 2nd at 8 p.m. Just for the Record, First 100 Days exclusively on 284 Media.
Looks like Johnny's ex-girlfriend finally found my car.
You've got CG. You're fine. I'll never forget the year those monkeys stole my car. They drove it over a cliff, burned the seats, and carved the words pineapple banana smoothie into all the doors. And that was after they used it for the bank heist. I don't blame them. It's their favorite smoothie. and I refuse to share the recipe.
No deductible for theft, malicious damage, and more. CG Insurance. Good like that.
Welcome back, and thank you so much for staying with us. We continue with news that the ANEGADA Lobster Festival is on this weekend and is leading BVI Food Fest's year-long activities, described as the grandest crustacean celebration in the Caribbean from the 24th to the 26th of November.
It's just really amazing, you know, and it's just to see what we can really accomplish when the community comes together, all the different businesses and the relevant stakeholders, because ANEGADA Lobster Festival is a national event at this point.
Indeed.
You know, and it means so much to, you know, the residents and the business persons over on ANEGADA, and we're just really happy to be in our 11th year and make it happen.
As part of the Lobster Festival, thousands are expected to take part in a scavenger hunt-style trek around the island to sample creative lobster recipes of ANEGADA's top restaurants. Visitors to the island may also take advantage of exploring the many attractions of the BVI's only limestone island. To encourage festival goers to patronize multiple restaurants, the BVI Tourist Board has organized fun activations such as scratch cards, stamp cards, where patrons can play for special prizes as they dine at participating restaurants.
We have a record number of 12 participating restaurants in the ANEGADA Lobster Festival this year, and we have various vendors as well, because they're also various establishments that aren't exactly restaurants, you know,
but they want to participate.
They want to be a part of it, you know. So we have 12 restaurants, and we have other persons involved, persons that have bars and barbecue pits and things like that. And we have a lot of vendors. We've had various meetings with the stakeholders over there and the whole business community over the previous months, being engaged with them. And it's been really great, you know, like staying in touch with them, being on the ground in the trenches with them and visiting all the different businesses and hearing their stories. And it's just really great to hear so many persons look forward to it and what they've been able to accomplish and to grow their businesses. It's really a great feeling when you get to touch these persons and hear their experiences like that.
The 12 participating restaurants prepare lobster samples as diverse as lobster rolls, lobster fritters, curried lobster, and a quirky lobster ice cream.
We have a big grand prize that's going to be, you enter to win the grand prize this year. So once you visit 7 or more establishments, participating restaurants there on ANEGADA, when you get there, we're going to have a welcome bag for you. We wouldn't give anything away what's in it right now, but you're going to be greeted by the Tourist Board and Film Commission staff, of course. And when you go to the participating restaurants, you're going to get a stamp on the card. So once you get 7 or more, you can just fill it out, the card, your name, your email address and phone number, and you will be entered for the chance to win 2 round-trip tickets between the BVI and Miami, Florida.
Incredible. And we can't pass that up at all. That's an opportunity, of course.
That's sponsored by TravelWise Limited. So we want to thank TravelWise for that generous sponsor.
In other news, TRADEWIND Aviation has joined the Virgin Gorda tourism product with its recent inaugural flight to the territory on Thursday, November 16th. Officials welcomed the crew of TRADEWIND Aviation as they made their inaugural commercial flight on Thursday. Co-founder and Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Eric Zipkin, thanked everyone for the warm welcome and the opportunity.
It truly was an honor. It's an honor, very much an honor, to be here and to be part of this this momentous occasion. Momentous occasion for Virgin Gorda, for the BVI, and really momentous occasion for TRADEWIND. Various people have mentioned the awards that we have received from Condé Nast Traveler. But really the most valuable, the most important reward is the trust that you all have placed in us. The people of the BVI, many of the people here, sought us out when it came time to reopen the airport, and I and we as an organization are truly honored to have been one of the first calls that came to bring here. So I thank you. I thank you for that trust. I thank you for that welcome, because it has made all of the difference. Ultimately, that comfort, that service level is really part of our ethos, and it is the ethos that we have felt here. So I'm very, very excited. I'm really excited to be the first, be part of the first and last impression that every visitor to the Virgin Islands has. and really to set things off on the right foot, and to bring somebody, have your visitors, and our visitors, have an extraordinary memory so that they come back.
Meanwhile, Honorable Kai Reimer spoke on the history and accomplishments of the airline, which is based in Puerto Rico, and how they align with the values and product that Virgin Gorda has to offer.
This is a momentous occasion, and I'm proud to be here representing the Premier and the people of this territory, and I say welcome to TRADEWINDS. Let's give TRADEWINDS a round of applause. We appreciate that this is your first scheduled flight to Virgin Gorda for the season. I know you'll be here until April, and then you'll resume your regular charter flights, but we welcome you. We understand that this would be, I think, your 20th year later in a few weeks that you'll be coming to the Caribbean. I know that TRADEWIND started back in 2001, and we are proud to have the founder here, Mr. Eric, for founding TRADEWINDS, and I think you deserve a round of applause for your vision in terms of this. TRADEWIND fits into Virgin Gorda because Virgin Gorda is that VIP destination that we all talk about, and it's the pristine beaches that the director spoke about, and TRADEWIND fits right into that, especially with your lounge that you have in San Juan, and it fits right into with the class of plane that you have, and we welcome that. I know that you flew in back in 2021, and I'm sure I understand that you were the pilot when you brought in the turkey for Thanksgiving at that time, and you flew in with the district representative at that time. But we welcome you this inaugural scheduled flight, and we are proud to have a TRADEWIND. We understand that the flights may be a bit affordable, so sometimes we all may jump on the flight and get to San Juan through TRADEWIND using this airport. So we look forward to that. TRADEWIND also has been ranked number 3 as the best airline in the USA, I think, for the past 3 years. And that is something that you should be proud about. And we are proud about that, knowing that you would bring that level of service to our beautiful Virgin Islands. So we are also happy, and we congratulate you for such an honor, knowing that you're a small aircraft, you're a small company, but you're ranked among the best with the service that you provide.
And viewers, that's it for today's news roundup. Be sure to follow us for daily news updates at 284media.com. Like us on Facebook at 284media and 284BVI on Instagram, X, formerly Twitter, and Threads. I'm Jacko Wooding, and I will see you again in about 2 weeks. So have yourself a safe and enjoyable weekend. Goodbye.